Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing well. So I'm here for your Astrology June forecast. So I'm just going to wait to see if anyone's going to join me live. Just say hello so I know who's joining me when you come on. And yeah, I'm just going to go through the key astrological dates for you in June. So basically you can experience more balance, more harmony and more fulfillment in our lives, particularly at this time. We're all going through a lot of changes, a lot of transformation, a lot of, obviously uncertainty about the world and about our personal lives. So we can use astrology to really help us channel our energy in a way that feels good and feels in line with who we are and what we want. So that's why astrology is great. So I'm just going to wait for a moment and then I'll get into it. So yeah, June is there's a lot going on. So if you're joining me, just say hello. I'd love to know who's with me and I'll get into the June forecast. So yeah, there's quite a few things going on. And probably you may be able to, if you're familiar with astrology, you may be already feeling the shifts of energy in the air. So let me know how you're doing. Where are you in the world? Hopefully I can see the comments coming through. Just let me know. It'd be great to see who's joined me. So I'll get into it. So first of all, at the minute we have a lot of planets in retrograde. So Venus is in retrograde till the 25th of June in Gemini, and so there's a lot. So Venus retrograde is really about, I'll go into that in more depth later, but when planets are retrograde, they want us to reflect on our lives, to really review what's happening, what's not working, particularly with that related to love and finance. So really paying attention to what is not working for you. Hi Chamali. Yeah, it's your birthday, amazing. Yeah, well that'll be significant for you. And Anna Marie, good morning. Hi, good to have you. So yeah, so we've got a lot of planets in retrograde. We also have Jupiter, Pluto still in retrograde in Capricorn, and Saturn in Aquarius. So as I said, when planets in retrograde, they're going backwards, so they're just asking us to look back on old ground. So particularly with the Venus retrograde, old relationships and friendships may appear to you. So just be aware of what's coming up, because it really isn't a time to take action right now in those situations, but I will come back onto that later. So with generally a feel of retrograde planets, we feel a slowing down, we feel a need to tune inwards and to take more time for ourselves, to tune into what we want and what we need at the moment. So that's what these retrograde periods are asking us to do. So just, if you can, I know people are trying to juggle a lot right now, but if you can create a bit more space for you to be still and to just listen and tune into your heart space to really connect with how you feel, right? Because there's so much going on in the world, we can get so sucked into the media or social media and the news and everything that it can make us feel really anxious. So this is really about coming back to your truth. How do you feel in all this? There's a lot of questions people are asking. So just being aware of how you feel, accepting it and flowing with that. Because again, if we resist what we feel, what we resist persists. So it will just come back. So just being aware and taking that, taking time every day for stillness, even if it's 5-10 minutes, I find that's really helpful to just reset yourself, come back into balance with yourself. Because so often we are consumed by other people's thoughts and emotions that we feel overwhelmed. And that's generally what is happening right now for many people. So just being aware of that. So the first really significant thing in this month is that we have a full moon and lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and that is on the 5th of June in the UK. So it will be different for you if you're on a different part of the world. But this is happening at 15 degrees. So if you have planets like 5 degrees either side of that, from 10 degrees to 20 degrees in Sagittarius. This lunar eclipse will particularly be affecting you. For you that are into astrology, you'll understand what I mean. So you can find that in a natal chart reading on many websites. If you go to Cafe Astrology, you can see what's happening in your chart, in your natal chart. So what that is a lunar eclipse is when the sun is opposite the moon. So we've got a bit of a tension. You know, the moon wants us to tune inwards to how we feel, and the sun is about our outward expression, the way we are in the world, how we're seen in the world. So this, you know, at every full moon, a full moon is an opportunity to really let go, to reflect, and to just release what's no longer serving you. So we're very much just before this, and it's happening, I have to check, but I think it's at 7:30 tomorrow evening. So you could be feeling this energy already. And with it being in Sagittarius, it is a fire sign, it's a mutable fire sign. So there might be, we could probably feel quite restless with this energy. You know, this energy is the sign of the half man, half horse archetype. So it's very about seeking freedom. So obviously in lockdown, it's depending where you are in the world, but in the UK it's still, there's quite a lot of restrictions, is, you know, we may feel this need to be expanding and travelling and seeing friends, and we can't do that in the usual way. So our freedom is being restricted. So how does that feel to you? You know, asking these questions of what does freedom look like for you? These themes can emerge. And anyway, with it being a fire sign, it's a restless energy. So it wants to move, it wants to expand. So there's really this need for expanding our knowledge. So maybe you're learning something new. This is a great time to spend some time the next couple of days really studying that topic or learning something new, because that's where this energy wants us to focus our attention. And you know, Sagittarius is about our life vision, our mission, finding truth and meaning in things. So maybe, you know, we're having to look at our lives and we're looking at what's not working. So asking yourself, you know, what is your new vision for life? What are you creating after in all of this, you know, uncertainty? Maybe you have a clear vision of where you want to be in your life that was very different from before all this happened. So really allowing yourself to dream up this new vision for your life. And, you know, it is an expansive energy. Sagittarius is all about learning. It's the sign of the teacher and mentor. So maybe as well you don't have something you're learning, but maybe it's something new that you want to learn. So this is a great time after the full moon to start that study that you keep talking about. So yeah, it's, you know, the eclipse can bring up a conflict between what we need on the inside. So the themes around like work versus home. So being out there, work, how we're seen in the world, and obviously home is what we need more intimately, this connection with ourselves. So you could, you know, just asking yourself, what is it you need versus what do you want? That could be something that's coming up for you. And just being aware of this conflict that could come from that, which could also drain our energy. So looking at where you're putting your energy. Are you feeling restless because you're not using your energy wisely, or you feel frustrated because you're having to do something that doesn't really bring you a deeper sense of fulfillment? Because that energy really seeks purpose and meaning in anything it does. So let me know if this is resonating with you. How are you feeling? Are you feeling this fire energy bubbling up? And you know, it gives us an increased emotional resilience at a full moon, and it's easier to connect with our intuition. So use this time to really tune in to how you're feeling, what you really need and what you desire. And you know, it's a time to reset our emotions and clear away emotional baggage of the last. So really, you know, maybe reflecting on the last 6 months, and also, you know, we so often on this journey forget to look at where we were before. So really reflecting on how far you've come in 6 months. What has changed for you, particularly around your emotions? You know, how do you react to things differently? Because we're all growing inwardly, but we don't always notice the changes. So just taking some time to reflect on that. You know, and also this eclipse is square to Mars, so our emotions can get heated. Mars is a fiery energy, so, you know, especially in our close relationships, in our love relationships, it could be harder to show our love and affection at this time. So just being aware of that, and, you know, we could feel really angry or get really frustrated very easily. So finding an outlet for that anger and frustration, so you don't hold it in and feel even worse. So finding a way, you know, I always think dance is great. So that frustration or moving, shaking, anything like that will help you to channel the fire energy. On for the lunar eclipse, and then on the what did I say? Okay, then also on from the 18th of June, we have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So Cancer is the crab, it's a water sign, so it's really all about our emotions, you know, the softer part of us, the part that needs nurturing. So what we need in our intimate relationships, what we need to feel nourished and nurtured. And, you know, this archetype, the crab, is all about it's got a very soft inner shell. So it's about the sensitivity versus this need to kind of shut itself off from the world. So if somebody's got a lot of this in your chart, you could feel you could be sensitive to the emotions of others. But this Mercury retrograde is going to slow us down. So again, the planet is going backwards. So it's a chance to reflect on that. You know, what do we need to be nurtured? What does the deepest part of us need to be supported and nourished? So, you know, and looking at how we are, what are we sensitive to? And looking at, you know, our emotional nature. How do we process our emotions? How do we actually express our emotions? So it could be causing us to look at the past, reflecting on old patterns, old ways of expressing our emotions. So just really spending time in stillness with the Cancer energy. So we could feel more sensitive at this time. Again, particularly our emotions will be increased. So being aware of that. And it's actually retrograde till the 4th of August. So it's quite a while. So just putting in like a self-care practice, if you don't have one already, highly recommend that. Even if it's something really small, 5 minutes in the morning will dramatically help you feel more nourished and supported to start your day. Chamali says, Mercury is in Cancer in my natal chart, so this resonates strongly with me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, you know, Mercury is, and as well, Mercury is the way we think and so, oh, sorry, my connection looks a bit funny again. So the way we process information, so looking at maybe we're being too sensitive, actually. Maybe we're taking things too personally. So how can we approach that in a different way? Then moving on, another significant part of this month is we have the new moon and so in Cancer. Sorry, my video looks like connection's going off again. Let me know that you can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up if you're with me. So this is on the 21st of June. So that is obviously, it's occurring close to the summer solstice, and there's this feeling of so we are, you know, again with new moons, it's a time for a new beginning, whether it's a new project we want to start, or new habits or intentions we want to set for ourselves. It's really a good time to start that 24 hours before the new moon or after. So that's on the 21st of June. Yes, you can hear it just cuts a little here and there. Yeah, I don't know why my internet does this, but I'm glad you can hear me. And this is actually the last new moon in the series of eclipses falling on the Cancer Capricorn axes, which have been going on since 2018. And Cancer is all about our sense of belonging, our roots, our home, everything that nurtures us on a deeper level. And Capricorn is about us being out in the world, you know, our public, our social status, our, you know, the career, how we're seen in the world. So it's very different energies. So, I mean, there's one more eclipse happening in July. So the eclipses are very powerful. They give us this opportunity to really let go and start afresh. And with it being in a Cancer, this energy again is really asking us to tune into our deepest emotions, tuning into our instincts, our deepest needs, and, you know, this need for security. You know, so many of us have been thrown out of our normal routines with what's happening in the world. So it's coming back to, even through the uncertainty and through the overwhelm that we may be feeling, is what brings us a sense of security. You know, what is it that can help us through this time to feel a sense of being more rooted, more emotionally? Maybe it's not about a physical place, is really, it's almost like connecting to your, maybe it's connecting with your family, your ancestors, this sense of really rooting yourself, and this sense of connecting with Mother Earth. You know, Mother Earth is very supportive, very nurturing. So how can we bring more things in to support us emotionally? Yeah. And, you know, Cancer is all about emotions, our vulnerability, our need for intimacy. So how are we fulfilling those needs? Or do we shut it down? Do we hold our sensitivity in and hide it away? So just reflecting on this, and, you know, what do you, at this new moon, what is it you need to surrender, to let go of, to move forward in your life? You know, so often we hold on to the past, we hold on to things that are not working for us anymore, and the new moon gives us an opportunity to, okay, like, right, reset, I'm going to let this habit go, or I'm going to let this thought pattern go, and I'm going to create a new beginning for myself. So it's exciting with the new moon. You can really set your intentions, start new projects, and move forward from that space. And moving on, we have, going back to the Venus that I was started to speak about. So Venus turns direct on the 25th of June. With it being retrograde, Venus is all about, it's been asking us about our love, our relationship to love, and our finances, and also pleasure, what brings us pleasure and what is beautiful. So in this time is, we may have old friends or lovers reappearing to basically make peace with what has happened so we can move on. So, you know, it's a really good time to review your relationships, your finances. What is not working in your relationships? What feels out of balance for you? What are the things that you need in your relationship to feel more peaceful in yourself? You know, are there things you need to do, or different ways of communicating with people? It's a good time to reflect on that. And, you know, it might bring up old attitudes and thoughts towards love that we haven't acknowledged. So, you know, Venus will have been retrograde for 6 weeks, so it's coming to the end. We've still got till the 25th, quite a long time to still reflect on, you know, any old relationship issues that maybe they're still coming up that are not working for you. Maybe you want to create a new relationship, or you want to meet your soulmate, but what are the old issues that keep reappearing that you need to let go of now? Now is the time to really do that. And so it's not a good time to make big decisions when Venus is retrograde, particularly around relationships. So if you're in a new relationship or anything, is maybe wait till after the 25th till you really if it's maybe somebody you want to commit to, is really wait to see what happens and what evolves, you know. Particularly at this time, we're all feeling more stressed and more uncertain, so you want to wait till you're feeling more in a better headspace in your heart and more grounded. Yeah. So, you know, as well, what is our relationship to finance? Maybe we have had old patterns coming up, you know, maybe there's debts or whatever's happening for you and you want to change that. So what new steps can you put in place to make your relationship with your finances stronger? Maybe it's around self-worth, you know, often there's so many issues around self-worth and money that come up. So really assessing that. Maybe it's structures you need to put in place to feel better about your finances. Yeah, and also, you know, it's a good time to really look at what gives you pleasure, what brings you beauty in your life. You know, Venus is all about our pleasure as well. So it could be in relation to money, relationships, but in general, what feels really good, what feels beautiful. Obviously we can't do the usual things. Like I used to love to go to like galleries and art galleries in London. We can't do those kind of things. So how can we bring more beauty into our daily lives? Maybe it's taking a walk in nature and really appreciating the trees around you. You know, I find that so grounding, and that brings me pleasure and a sense of feeling more grounded. So doing more of these things, and getting creative to really help you connect with that beauty as well. So we've got that. And then lastly, I wanted to mention, so Jupiter aligns with Pluto on the 30th of June. So this is a very powerful alignment. This is actually the second time they've come together this year. And, you know, Jupiter is all about expansion, about growth, about our beliefs, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. It can bring up the uncomfortable things that we don't want to acknowledge. So when you've got Jupiter with Pluto, Jupiter can expand whatever it's with. So, you know, it's giving us a power boost. Basically, it can expand or exaggerate whatever we focus our energy on. So just being aware of that, the 30th of June, is, you know, looking at your ambitions as well, because this, you know, these planets are still in Capricorn, and Capricorn is all about our ambitions, where we're heading in the life, what are we creating, what does success look like to us, and it's different to us all, right? So just realigning with your ambitions, because this energy can be very powerful for magnifying your ambitions. So, you know, maybe a lot of people have gone online like I have, so, or I was building a business online, but I've gone completely online. Is maybe there's, you know, new workshop or something you're building, or new business. Maybe this energy can really help you magnify that and achieve the things you want to. So, you know, being aware of what you're focusing on at that time. You know, maybe your ambitions, maybe you have new ambitions in your life, so looking at that. But, you know, the other thing, part of this, the shadow side, is that Capricorn can get very caught up with this, you know, the idea of power and having control. So just being aware that you don't go too much into feeling the power from your ambitions, you know, because that's not, we don't feel so heart-centered in that space. So as long as we're connecting with our hearts when we're going after our ambitions and what we want to achieve, is coming back to what feels aligned to us, what do we want to do from a heart-centered place. So it is a powerful time to really grow and expand. But yeah, just being aware of the power dynamics and control issues that can come up with that. You know, again, if we want to create something, we want to climb to the top of the mountain, like the mountain goat does, the symbol of Capricorn, you know, we've got to take one step at a time and not putting so much pressure on ourselves that we burn ourselves out and we almost step over everyone else to get there. So being compassionate with yourself along the way and not using power in a way to control people, because as we see in the world, power can be very negative, used in the wrong way. So using this energy in a heart-centered way to really focus your energy in a way that feels good to you. So that's what I've got for you. Hopefully that makes sense and inspires you to keep moving towards the life of your wildest dreams that you're creating. If you'd like any more support, please book in for a one-to-one astrology reading with me. Otherwise, I also work one-to-one with people, and I particularly am passionate about helping women really awaken the creative part of them. So if that's something you feel you need support with, do send me a message and I can send you more details about this. I do have some great packages at the moment, which is really exciting to help women awaken that creative energy and really feel more embodied in their creative gifts, because we so often ignore that and suppress it, but that is your power as a woman. So let me know if you have any comments, any things that are resonating with you, then please pop them in the comments box. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments as well if you watch it on the replay. So enjoy. Hope you have a great June, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.